Oh man, we live, baby. We live. We live, baby. We lit. Family tree. What's really good? I'm up here in the building with you guys right now. I'm having some time by myself, early hours of the day, and I've got something. I've got something. I've got a question in my mind uh, that I had circulating, and it's called, it's called "How Should Christians Engage with Muslims?" Shouts out to man like Jose up in the building as well, right? So I'm in the process of making a presentation right now. Yeah. I'm in the process of making a presentation, and I thought, why not get you guys, as usual, to come in and join me whilst I'm doing something so we can do parallel play together. I don't know what you guys are up to right now. Salute to everybody out there. But this is what I'm doing. I'm about to create a presentation. You just go for live. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm in the process of creating a presentation. And I thought, if you want to come in and just look at what I do to draft out and create presentations and make it better over time. So I'm just going to get you guys in to do that with me right now. If you want some interaction, just like drop a comment, drop a question. If you want the link, I will send you the link, and we can actually, test some of these things that we're doing right now together. But otherwise, like, just enjoy me work. That's literally it. You're literally just gonna be here whilst I'm working. I might just like throw this off like as a video that's not you can't be seen afterwards. But for now, like enjoy my company. So Jose once in again. I may not be talking uh most of the time because I will be obviously creating this presentation. Yeah. So, where are we? Where are we? Out of the abyss, man. Like Delroy Thomas up in the building yet again. Salute. Actually, let me just do this real quickly. So, yeah, I'm literally just creating this presentation right now. I've got my notes over here. So, let's just quickly see. Okay, Abyssinian Apologetics. Let's get in. Sure that my headset is set up so I can hear you guys.
Yeah, what's up, Kalam? You hear me?
Wait 1 second. Let me just get you ears. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Say something again.
You hear me?
Yep, I'm hearing you now. Perfect.
I don't know if you were going out or it was just me. I thought I heard you going out just now.
Nice, cool. Cool. Just our approach. Okay. So yeah, talk to me. What were you saying? What are you saying?
No. I just wanted to know if you heard me.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I have a presentation coming up Saturday with Elder Yara.
Ooh,
But
ooh,
first, Cross Coaches Podcast.
ooh.
It's called Cross Coaches Podcast Episode 1.
Okay. Is it my audio or your audio is quite low?
I don't know. It might be me.
Okay, cool.
So I'm doing that Saturday
So
coming up. So you guys can tune in. Hopefully you'll be there too. I was supposed to do it this Thursday past, but it didn't happen. So I'm gonna do it Saturday. So
amazing,
you guys can tune
amazing,
in.
amazing. Okay, so you are the one who's presenting something, yeah?
No, what we're doing is a cross cultures podcast. So we're actually having a talk about like the Hebrew, his worldview because he's not anti-Kemet.
Mhm.
So we're trying to bridge that gap between the two to see what we agree on and what we disagree on.
Okay.
So, and as I told him, if it goes left, at least it goes left for honest argument, not for something that I think. So, I don't foresee
Yeah.
it going left, but if you watch it and it goes left, at least it's an honest left turn, not just
Mhm.
an assumption that because he's a Hebrew Israelite, he thinks like everybody else.
Yeah.
So I want to do that, and I think man like you would make a good episode too. Huh? What
Doing
do
what
you
with
think,
me?
Salam?
Say again. What with me?
I said man like you would make a good episode too.
Jeez, man, like me, you know.
Yeah,
Hey.
man like you, cross. But in this
Ah,
case, But in this case, I could make it a UK/African American cross culture.
Mhm.
We could do something like that instead of focusing more on the spiritual or religious kind of thing. We could do something like that for you. So you could kind of say how you approach your studies and how you being in UK may or may not affect the way that you approach it. You know, if you were African American, you know, would it be a more rough approach? Would it be the same approach? You know, because I know people in the UK are just more polite.
Yeah.
They don't like to curse and scream and get out of context a lot.
Yes. Yes.
So maybe if you were African American, you might use a couple curse words, might
Oh,
be
wow.
a bit more demonstrative with what you're saying.
100%. 100%.
Definitely. So I would love to do that one because
Yeah.
I always make fun, not make fun, but I always kind of laugh at how polite you are.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Politely disrespectful, and I'm saying as a Black American, I don't know how to do that. Disrespect is disrespect.
Yeah.
It's no,
Lightly disrespectful.
it's no well. You're so unintelligent and cognitively distant. No, we don't do that. We don't talk like that.
Yeah. You know, say your blood clot pussy all you them. Actually, no,
Wow,
that's
that don't even sound right coming from you. I don't even like the way that sounded, Kalam. I just felt dirty when you said that.
dirty.
I didn't even. That don't even sound right.
Yeah, dog.
So this is a presentation, another Abyssinian presentation.
This one here is it's in line. So what I'm doing, with the whole Abyssinian origins, is basically having a course. We're going to be doing a curriculum course, and a curriculum course that is for mainstream education. So literally, it can go into a school in Trinidad or wherever you are. Like it goes up because it's history, and it could be classified as Black history, so it's easy to go up. It's cool. But then also there is the religious side to it as well. So how can, for example, Christians use the historical material to have a conversation with Muslims, debate with Muslims, or even convert Muslims into Christians or into their way of thinking? So I'm literally going to be creating like how do we call that, a compendium, an edition, like a course that stands next to the historical one, which is the religious one, and how to actually engage with Muslims and take up my research to engage with Muslims on a more like apologetic nature.
Believe it or not, Trinidad and Tobago is very religiously tolerant, so that would go over very well in Trinidad.
Yeah, yeah.
They're very, they don't have the animosity with like Muslims and Christians.
Yeah.
They have that respect. I don't know if you're familiar with Trinidad culture. Are you?
Yeah, I would assume it's the same as like, because we're just like a stone throw away from each other. Grenadian culture is the same thing as well. So, we don't have all of that stuff in Grenada. When I go to Grenada, there isn't anything like that. There is literally a masjid not so far away from the airport. Like everybody just gets along with each other. It's only, I guess, it's only in America, and again, only over here in the UK. And it's not UK as a whole. I would say it's UK in terms of speakers corner, where people get to dialogue with Muslims. And then it's like it's heated. Otherwise, in our day-to-day lives, I don't think we have that heated animosity against.
Oh, that's when the proper accent goes out.
Yeah.
And you start to become a little aggressive. How should I say? Uncharacteristically aggressive for the UK culture.
There you go.
Right. But boy, I have to. I'm gonna have to go in a little bit because I have to go and to help my wife. But I say, let me just tap in with my brother, see what's going on, let him know what I have going on.
Hey.
I'm definitely gonna continue watching, and I'm going to support as much as I can. But I think once you put this together, you should reach out to some of your Caribbean family.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't even know you were Ghanaian. I thought you were like Ghanaian or something like that. I assumed that for some reason.
Yeah.
You had an African background, but apparently not.
Oh, I do have an African background, but Grenada as well, man.
Oh, interesting. So I think you need to reach out to some of your cousins in Grenada because I'm sure you have one cousin that's a school teacher, another one is a nurse, another one is a doctor. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
So you got
Well,
connections.
to be honest with you, my mother, stepmother, what do you call it? Mother-in-law, mother, whatever the case is, right? She is literally the head of education in the whole of, not just Grenada, but the whole of the Caribbean islands, to be honest with you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Wow.
so it's like it's there. So when
All right.
the time comes and I've got this solidified, I know that can go across the whole of the Caribbean.
Yeah, man. You need to
Mm,
definitely, you definitely need to get that into the Caribbean because they would appreciate that more.
100%. 100.
So I'm out. Hopefully Saturday you could tune in.
Mm-hmm.
Do
I
you have
will be
anything planned for?
tuning in
Do you have anything planned for Saturday?
Saturday. No, my sister's having a little Christmas party, but apart from that, she already told me that no men are invited. So I'm good. I'm good.
All
So
right,
Saturday 20th,
all
I'm
right,
down.
man. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna keep listening, but I have to get ready to go to help my wife out. So I'll
Yeah,
talk to
yeah.
you later. Right?
Cool. Yeah.
All right. Keep up the
All
good work, and if nobody else don't tell you, I appreciate you and I love you as my brother, man. All right.
right. Love, 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 love.
All right.
All right. Cool. Bless. Okay, cool. So I'm doing this. Hold on, let me just quickly read some of the comments. Hakuna where did I go? Hakuna Matata. Shalom, shalom. Salute to you. Oh man, it's 6:05 in America. What's up, bro? Jeez, with Daya. I'm a Muslim and I challenge you to post a link for your stream so I will join you and you will convert me with simple arguments. Okay. It's interesting that some people, you know, I don't know. It's literally the link is there, for everybody to see. So is there. Um, let's keep on reading. The people of America are tired of Somali community. We are about to send them back to their. Ooh, wow. Okay. So I need to get the breakdown on that. Like, what are Somalians doing over in America right now? Like, that sounds crazy. Okay, cool. Yalla, yalla, habibi. Start converting them blood. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi barakatuh. To all my fellow brothers and sisters of the Islamic Aliyah, good morning. Salute to you, brother La, up in the building. What's really good? I've got a few messages coming in. Let me just quickly check them on my phone before I continue. I'm on a live stream. Okay. Kill. Kill. All right. So, my objective right now is our approach. Cool. So, my approach right now is to take on the arguments of the Christians. And they say Muhammad brought Christianity and our teachings, but his companions did not understand him. Cool. So, that is our approach. And then the model. Okay, let's go to the model right now. Do-do-do-do-do-do. So, yeah, family, you lot can talk to me. I definitely will be reading out the comments, of course. I am literally, as I said, I'm literally just here creating a presentation. Um, yeah, I'm creating a presentation for you guys, and you guys are just here to be behind the scenes. Um, let me say our model. Let me do is our model. Yeah, our model. Okay, our model. And oops, what is our model? Our model is that of transformation. Transformation. Okay, transformation. Cool. Also, what do you mean transformation? Well, what our model is that we are. I should really have a diagram for this, right? Like A to B, A to C. Okay, no, let's put bullet points in. Where's the text? Can I not have text? Nope. So we'll have bullets. You mother sucker. Come on. What am I missing? Edit slide layout. Oh my God, I don't even know what to, let me not even trouble this stuff. Okay. Heal. Heal. No, I want bullets. Text bullets. Cool. Our model. And then I should create a text box. Okay, back up, back up. Model. Said it was transformation. Transformation. Boom. And then we need a text box. Bigger. Let's just do. Then what is it? So the model is, what is the model based on? The model is based on that they say, Christians saying that Muhammad brought Christianity and our teachings, but his companions did not understand him. Cool. So the transformation is, if we want to get Muslims to convert, we don't need to convert them away from Islam, technically. We just need to make them understand Islam, because whatever Muhammad brought was Christianity anyway. So what's the point of converting them? There isn't the point of converting them. Just get them to learn their religion. Once they learn the religion, they'll be Christians again. Alhamdulillah, hallelujah, Yeshua, Mashiach. Okay, cool. So my thing is transformation. Where's that text box? Where's the text box gone? There we are. So the text box, I want to bring them from lack of understanding, up, towards knowledge. What's the opposite of understanding? Lack of understanding, full comprehension. Yeah, I would say it's knowledge. If you don't understand something, knowledge, full knowledge, complete knowledge, full knowledge, full knowledge. Let's go. Full knowledge. Okay, lack of understanding, full knowledge. Can we not bring this bigger on it? Boom, 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 boom. All right, I need to make that a bit more clear afterwards. But yeah, let's go back to the comment section and just see. Greens Kalam. Personally, I think your work will definitely provide a level playing field for Black Muslims, Hebrew Israelites, and the Christians at home and abroad by bringing this information out. Yeah, buddy. Oh man, Titans, Candy up in the building. We live with it. Okay, cool. So cool. There we go. So the model is, okay, my model is bring in Muslims. So we want to transform them, right? So we want to bring Muslims from a lack of understanding into full knowledge and understanding. There we go. Full knowledge and understanding. Let's go to that. Full knowledge and understanding. That's the transformation right there. And understanding. Okay. So I know I need to fill out this a bit more afterwards, but at least we have the skeleton of what we're trying to do. Next slide. But we might as well duplicate this slide. The next slide is about dogmas and doctrine. Oh, dogmas and doctrine. What is it? Misunderstanding and misinformation. Misunderstanding and misinformation. Ew. Okay. Slide this one as well. Okay, that, and so we would want to get them back into Muhammad, Christianity, and teaching. Cool. That will be it. Then, really and truly, is that another slide? Is it another slide? Is it another slide? I think it would be another slide. Let me do this as another slide over here. Then I can get back to work. So I want to go through Sul. Should I call this usul? No, I'll call that usul afterwards. So we want, what do we want? We want to go through the foundations, which will be shahada, Quran, and then hadith. These are the only things that you, as a Christian, need to know. Shahada, one chapter of the Quran, and one hadith. There you go. Make life easy for yourself. So before we get into the next level, and this right here is called usul. Usul is usul. Is it usul or is it just usul? I remember. Usul. I think it might be usul. Let's see. Usul. That would be foundation. Foundation. Let's get them at their foundation. Let me Google that. Let me Google usul first before I have that as something. So yeah, that is an that technically is an I. So yeah, usul. Yeah, usul foundation. Well, it's not really an iron, is it? I don't know, man. Language silly. It's not silly, but okay. So technically, it's not that type of. Okay, cool. All right. Let me get back into this. Misunderstanding has always been a major stumbling block in the transmission of information from the messenger and the recipients of the message. 100%. 100%. So cool. Let me fill this out now. So that there, technically speaking, is our building blocks. So Abyssinian origin of apologetics. How should Christians engage with Muslims? And I am saying that we use Christian apologists of antiquity. Why am I even choosing Christian? See, this is not something that you have to put into the slide. Why are you choosing apologists of antiquity rather than modern day apologists? Because you got modern day apologists such as David Wood, apostate prophet. What's the other one? Calls people potato. What's his name? Christian Prince. You got Sam Shamoun, Rabin Ibrahim. All these different individuals. Those 5 individuals I've just made mention of. To me, there is good and there's bad. And there's a lot of good in what they do, but there's a lot of bad in what they do. I'd rather get back to like the ancient of days. How do you do apologetics? Well, but the thing is, really and truly, that form of apologetics is for the layman. That's the reason why I'm not gravitating towards it. It's good, it's entertaining to me. But if I was to do apologetics, that's not my form of apologetics. It's like base form of apologetics. They're just there insulting people, insulting their religion, and mocking them and just doing nonsense. Like, again, I'm just thinking of my children. I would fear if I'm looking at my son, right? And let's say I'm growing him up Christian. Growing up Christian, like he gets into it, he learns, like he goes onto TikTok, he sees all these videos. One of the things then he's like, yeah, dad, I want to be an apologist. Yeah, I want to go and defend the faith. But then he learns polemics at the same time. So I want to go and attack other people and attack their religion. And then he goes out there and uses their arguments. I would fear for my son's life simply by knowing the nature of the beast, simply knowing the nature of humanity and their frailty. Because of their identity, they become very emotional. And because of humanity, they are very base creatures. And that means they can become very violent and aggressive. So, would I want my son to be spewing certain arguments to a very ignorant, emotional Muslim who has hatred and violence in their heart? I know what the next outcome would be. It would be like another Hatun Tash getting stabbed on in Speaker's Corner, almost losing their life. It'll be like people like not Charlie Kirk, what's the Charlie Hebdo people that are now just getting shot up and killed in France. I wouldn't want that for my son. So therefore, I would definitely choose another means of apologetics, defending your Christianity. So yeah, that's really my motivation and intention is what would I want for my children? Because I know I'm a big man, I can handle myself. But for other people who can't handle themselves, your daughters, your sons, like, no, that's tricky. That's tricky. Yeah. So I would choose the intelligent way. I would choose the ways of philosophers and theologians and debaters and apologists of antiquity and teach them that as a model. So we have to bring up people like Al Kindi and all these other, even John of Damascus, even. You have to bring up all of these, like, read. So, okay, say, cool. So technically here, you would give that. Let's give that. Let's just put that there for your presentation. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Motivation. Motivation for you, um, ancient apologists, apologists versus modern apologists. Okay, cool. Cool. And then intelligent. Intelligent versus layman. Cool. Yeah. Because I want my children to be the best. I want them to be the intelligentsia, right? The bourgeoisie versus lame people. I don't want my children to be that way inclined. Cool. Cool. Because they come from greatness, right? Yes. All right. So motivation, intelligent argumentation, and these people in the past have already gone through all the arguments. Yeah. They are good models, great models, even great model of interfaith dialogue. Interfaith dialogue. Cool. All right. And then obviously you could just speak from your heart. Let the Holy Spirit guide you. All right, cool. Boom, boom, boom. And then cool. So this is our approach. So my approach. Okay. I need to give it a subtitle. That's true. But the approach is to say that Muhammad brought Christianity and our teachings, but his companions did not understand him. I rather that approach. Why would you rather that approach? Why would you rather that? Okay, due to different levels of perception and capacity to process information presented. Okay, cool. Why would I like that approach? Why? 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 I need to really think about this now. They say Muhammad brought Christianity and our teachings. I like that approach because obviously it aligns with my Abyssinian thesis, right? That of course Muhammad, Muhammad of the Quran, Muhammad of history. I'm not talking about Islamic Muhammad because that's another kettle of fish, right? But that Muhammad definitely did bring Christianity. He was definitely an individual who was a Christian, right? Christian bishop, Christian prophet, Christian apostle, Christian preacher, right? Um, so I like it because it aligns with history. Cool. Why else do I like it? I like it because inside of the Quran it says, "Come to a word that's oh, people of the scripture, let's come to a word that is like equitable word, like something that we can agree on, and let's move on from there." Right? Cool. So, in a sense, I'm even allowing Muslims to have their Quran. So I'm not even taking away your Quran from you. Like, I'm not even saying your Quran is evil or it's bad. I'm actually saying, yeah, your Quran has truth. That is an inspired word of God, right? It's spirit breathed upon, right? Cool. I'm allowing you to have your scriptures. Your scriptures are fine in my eyes. Good. So we can get on common grounds and common terms. And there ain't no difficulties there. Cool. So we're leveling out disagreements from the get-go. Cool. And I'm saying let's just simply move on what your Quran actually says, right? You don't have to move on what I'm saying. Let's move on what your Quran says. Like you're in a powerful position right there, right? Because the Quran literally says, if you're in doubt, go and ask the people of the book. Because you know why? You people are ummi. You are unscriptured. You don't have a book, so you don't know nothing. You're dummies, in the most respectful manner. You are dummies, right? So go to the people who are educated and have knowledge and have the scripture before you. They've been reading, they know this stuff. Cool. So let me educate you on what you don't know about. With me? Simple, simple stuff. Because that puts you in the seat of authority, power, straight away. Cool. All right. That's calm. That's calm. But how do you talk on that? Do you create another slide for that? Or do you just leave it as that and kind of explain it through this particular slide here? Okay, cool. Cool. Muhammad brought Christianity. So Muhammad brought Christianity. So therefore he must have been a Christian. So yes, I said it lines, it brought Christianity. So therefore, let's just go into the Quran and show you where Christianity is there. Yeah. And our teachings, like, you know, Diaphysite Christianity is there. Chalcedonian Christianity there. Anti-Chalcedonian. It's anti-Chalcedonian. It's anti-Miaphysite Christianity. That's the teachings of the Quran. It's Diaphysite and it's against the Miaphysite Christians. It is ecumenical. It's trying to bring everybody together also, right? It's quite easy. You could just easily show that in scripture. So it's like, why are we fighting? Just teach them the scripture. And again, it says here that his companions did not understand him. I don't know if it's the companions versus his followers. So we have to work out that word. His followers, definitely, or he's the people that claim to follow Muhammad, clearly did not understand his scriptures. Cool. So if they did not understand, so we'll move on to the next slide, technically speaking. Cool. So if they did not understand them, that means they had lack of knowledge, right? And lack of knowledge is precipitated on what? What is it predicated on? It is predicated on deficiency in knowledge, failure to grasp meaning. Okay, so cool. So you can have sub bullets right there. So we can have 3 sub bullets numbered. So lack of understanding is deficiency in knowledge. Deficiency knowledge. And again, I might just have to share the link because again, it would be nice if you lot can just jump in. It would be nice. Oh yeah, here it is. Nope. Okay, let me read out this comment. It says, your approach is that almost 2 billion Muslims didn't understand that Prophet Muhammad brought Christianity, and you understand. No, I wouldn't say that. Okay, your approach is that almost 2 billion Muslims didn't understand that Prophet Muhammad brought Christianity, and you understand it imposed your Christianity on Muslims. No, I understand it that almost 2 billion Muslims today, in their ignorance, don't know history, so therefore they don't know that Muhammad brought Christianity. Yes, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, and again, I'm going to say it's respectfully, like respectfully, Muslims are victims. And that's why I don't even like engaging in conversations in terms of like debating Muslims, because I'm like, you guys are like victims, and your victimness has landed you in severe lack of knowledge and oppression and ignorance. That's just the fact of it. That's literally the fact of it. And there's no like sugarcoating or making it sound better or sound nice. That's just the fact. You guys are victims, and it's not your fault. You guys have got very beautiful hearts. I give it to you. You got very beautiful hearts. You believe you're doing the right thing. You believe you're like you get up, Fajr, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning to do your daily prayers. Better than Christians today. Like Christians in the West today. You're doing better than them. Like you lot really believe in God. You lot truly have a desire for God in that sense. It's just that you've been misinformed and miseducated. So therefore, where you're putting your energies and passions is misdirected. So it's like, yeah, again, I feel sorry for you guys, to be honest with you. That's why I don't ever try to attack Muslims. I would rather attack people that should know better, i.e., Christian apologists that should know better, academia that should know better, versus Muslims, because like, I don't expect anything better from you because I understand your situation. You feel me? So yeah, the link has been shared. which is there. Um, Jeez, on code up in the building. I respectfully, it is ignorant and stupid to call 2 billion as ignorant and you are smart. This argument is silly waste of time. Please look in the mirror. Okay. So now, I think you guys, as Muslims, you would say that 2 billion Christians are in error. Okay. Then you may even say 6 billion people are in grave error too because they don't practice Islam. You know, they are Hindus or they're Buddhists or whatever the case is. So clearly, they're not going to heaven or paradise or Jannah to you, right? They're not because they are misguided, right? They're misguided individuals. They're miskin. This is what you would say with your own mouth, but because I'm saying it towards you, you're feeling a bit triggered and emotional about it. Okay, so um, I thought you have real arguments. This is so silly waste of time. So you're saying that okay, let's delve into that right now, yeah. Let's just quickly do that, real quickly. Tell me, yeah, what do you disagree with? Do you disagree with the fact that Muhammad brought Christianity, or do you disagree with the fact that Muhammad was a Christian? Let me know, and then I will highlight your ignorance for you, because I know you don't know your ignorance. You've got unconscious ignorance taking place. Okay. Personally, I perceive that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a reformer of the old time religion that had become corrupted over time or misunderstood as you proposed in your thesis. Um, um, could be, could be, but I would say that okay, how he self-identifies inside of the Quran is that he is an apostle. Okay, and then one has to figure out what is an apostle. Is apostles really reformers? Not really. Um, Was there something wrong with the old time religion? No. He says, I have not come to bring anything new. I have not come to bring a newfangled religion. So, am I trying to reform an old religion or am I just giving you the old religion that was already there? Yeah, that's the question we have to start asking. Was he trying to reform that old religion or was he simply giving that old religion, that same religion back to the people? Okay, to a people who were ummi, who were unscriptured, meaning they did not have the scripture in the first place. So now I'm giving you the scripture. So do I need to reform it? No, I don't need to reform it because you've never had it. So let me give it to you. You feel me? But again, he's speaking to various different communes. So some communes did have scripture and some didn't. So we can discuss because at times he definitely was uh, correcting people with who had the scriptures as well. So we'll see. I was planning to join you. I was planning to join you. I thought you have real arguments saying 2 billions are ignorant. It's so silly and stupid. To say that 2 billion people lack it's not 2 billion, but let's just go with your argument. To say with 2 billion people, or the majority, let's just because I don't even say that, the majority of the 2 billion Muslims, okay, lack knowledge of history of their religion. Yes, it's like saying 2 billion Muslims, like they let's say it's 2 billion Muslims, let's say they recite the Quran. But how many of the Muslims who recite the Quran truly know Arabic? Would you not say that they are ignorant or lack knowledge of the Arabic? It's a fact. Most Muslims that recite their Quran or recite their daily prayers in Arabic, they don't understand the language. So clearly they lack knowledge. I don't even understand. It's just pointless to even have that. Okay, I'm saying okay, cool. So will let us proceed to give you what you need. Okay, so yeah, as I say, deficiency in knowledge. Um, okay, cool. Do, where are you? Number two is failure to grasp. To grasp, meaning to grasp. And then the third one is inability to end. It's down a bit. Gonna make this a bit bigger. It's okay, cool. Then coming to full knowledge and understanding, let's give you some bullets over here. We're gonna get some numbered. Da-da-da-da. I should have done that. I should have done it the other way around. Uh, uh, okay. Okay, cool. I should have done it the other way around. Let me just say, not knowing the context of all. Okay, so that's why I wrote it down like that first, which was triggering. So therefore, goes another way of writing it down. All right, cool. Not knowing the context. Okay, not knowing context. Not knowing the context or all the facts. Or all facts. Okay, let me go. Let me see this. Your mayor in London is smart Muslim. New York Muslim mayor is smart Muslim. They run the biggest two cities in the world. Call them stupid. See, this is what I mean about. I hate saying this, right? But the majority of Muslims that come on to like panels, like when I watch, like like God Logic and other people, I'm like, what is going on? Why are they like they lack comprehension? Yeah. Let me just show you something. Let me just show you how much you truly lack comprehension. Just why? Why do you not come on the big internet and just like embarrass yourself like this? Your mayor in London is smart Muslim. New York Muslim mayor is smart Muslim. They run the biggest two cities in the world, and you call them stupid. Lack of comprehension. Because you lack historical knowledge does not mean you're like dumb in being, for example, a mayor. Like you may fully know how to be a mayor. Like for me, I can say I am ignorant of being a mayor. That doesn't demean me as a person. That doesn't mean as an identity, I'm now worthless because I don't know how to be a mayor. Like dumbness, right? I can say to myself, I lack knowledge of being a mayor. I lack knowledge of being a lawyer. I lack knowledge of being a doctor. But I have loads of knowledge on history. I'm saying to you, the majority of Muslims lack knowledge, historical knowledge of their religion. They don't know the history of their religion. That's a fact. It doesn't mean that they're worthless. It doesn't mean that they can't be smart in other areas. It's just that they don't have knowledge of history. Simple. You could be a Muslim, but you could lack knowledge in fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence. You could be a Muslim, but lack knowledge on, ilm al-hadith, the science of hadith. But yet you could have knowledge on history. Do you understand? It's one simple area that Muslims are lacking knowledge that I'm discussing right now. Doesn't mean that they're worthless human beings as a whole. Okay? Lord have mercy. All right. Muslims lifestyle is closer real Christians' teachings than a lot of people think. The problem is the political paradigm that has developed within white supremacy. Yes, I agree. I agree. The Muslim lifestyle is closer, 100% to let's say it's closer to Orthodox Christianity. What do I mean by that? In Orthodox Christianity, let's say you pray a minimum of 3 times a day to 7 times a day. Let's say they pray the maximum of 7 times a day. Muslims pray 5 times a day. Tell me, who is closer in terms of Orthodox Christianity, the Western Christian who only prays or goes to church on a Sunday versus a Muslim that prays 5 times a day. You know, Eastern Orthodox 7 times, Oriental Orthodox, sorry, 7 times a day they pray. Muslims pray 5 times a day. Western Christians pray 1 times a week. Like clearly, yes, there is some similarities there. Like Muslims are doing a very good job in terms of ritualistically doing good things. Fasting, they fast 30 days out of the year, right? Christians who are Orthodox and following the right ways, like they fast Lent 40 days out of the year. Like who's closer? The Orthodox Christian who's fasting 40 days of the year, the Muslim who is fasting 30 days out of the year, or the Western Christian who's like, fast, I only eat when there's no food in my fridge. Like, clearly, yeah, like there is some, like, give props to Muslims. I don't understand. Like, for people who just constantly hate Muslims, don't do that, man. That they might even be close to you. They might even be closer to God than you are. All right. All right, cool. Yeah, that's you see that man said, hey, listen, that's that. Hey, stop that. You got a point. All right, Kalam, right about that. You Kalam, right about that, but you don't know. Also. Okay. Stop wasting our time with your nonsense. I like comprehension is better than you have no comprehension, or you're so ignorant about Islamic identity. Spoke many times. Past. I like comprehension is better than you have no comprehension. What I've got here, lack of understanding. Didn't say that you have no understanding. I'm saying that you lack understanding. Okay? It's there. Lack of understanding. All right. And the reason why you have a lack of understanding is because you don't know the context or you don't know all the facts. Okay. All right, cool. Let me just finish off this bit here too, which is the data is present. The data is present, but the point is lost. But the point is lost. Or let me give you another one. Or the subject is poorly explained. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. And the third one is struggling with complex ideas or instruction. Okay. Is complex ideas or instruction. Cool. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Cool. Get that to in a minute. uh, um, okay. I like that. I like that. Let me get to that point that you just raised here. All right. No, let me close to whom. This is why I laughed earlier on. Religion is not faith. Do I go straight to that, or let me quickly just get what's his name again? Ali Adin. I can't remember. Oh, all right, cool. History. Gospel said when Jesus died on the cross, the sun set on the 3 hours. There any historical scientific. So this was cool for 3 hours. Sorry, cool. For instance, the importance of making was 3 times for each part of the body. No Jewish and Christian beliefs, social laws or instructions of number three in bits and one. Yeah. Yeah. That's why you have to get to the historical context and understand that there's a lot of Jewish stuff with inside of that really. Okay, cool. Okay. I like this one. Yeah, they are not closer to God without Jesus. I would say that they do have Jesus. They do have Jesus. Jesus is, I think, the second most spoken about character inside of the whole of the Quran, I believe. Right, outside of God, let's just say, outside of God is Moses, and then I believe the next runner-up should be Jesus. Okay, the belief right now, I believe it is. I think it's mentioned like 39 times or something like that. I have to get back into it. I think Moses is around 90 times, and then so yeah, technically speaking, they do have Jesus in there. Unfortunately, the problem is their lack of understanding, as our our Christian apologetic predecessor has stated. They just don't understand their version of Jesus. That's all it is. They have Jesus, but they don't understand their Jesus. You with me? Cool. What's the topic? The topic is Abyssinian origins, apologetics. So I am right now creating a presentation, and I'm getting you guys to join me as I'm doing my. You're getting behind the scenes, behind the mind of Kalam. That's what's going on right now. Um, History of Islam is centered around the person, the place, and the time. Yes, there you go. There you go. He shocked when I asked him about historical evidence aside from the Bible and that. My brother, let me show you something. Okay? Let me show you something. We're doing something here, right? We're doing something here. You want to sidetrack us from doing what we're doing. Okay. This is why you're not getting any airtime with that. Let me just get back to it. How should Christians engage with Muslims? That is what we're doing right now. Okay. An apologist of antiquity. Okay. This is how we should engage with Muslims. I'm saying we should engage with Muslims as the Christian apologists of antiquity. Okay. That is what we're going to do. We've got our approach, right? And our approach is that Muhammad brought Christianity and our teachings, but his companions did not understand him. And you are one of his companions. Unfortunately, Muhammad understood Christianity and their teaching. Okay? He understood it and he taught it. But unfortunately, you as a Muslim failed to understand. Okay? That is going to be my claim. That's a claim. As Kalam, I'm making that claim because I'm standing on the shoulders of the titans, of the giants of old. Okay. This is the claim, right? Now, over here in our model, we're going to try to help Muslims. And the help that we're offering Muslims is a transformational help. Okay. Ooh, over here. Yeah. It's a transformational help. We're going to take you from lack of knowledge, right? We're going to take you from a lack of knowledge, not just not knowing the context of your belief system, not having all the facts, not understanding the data that's presented to you. Okay. And then you're losing the point of what is being taught to you because you're struggling with complex ideas or instructions. So we're going to take you away from that. Okay. And we're going to bring you into full knowledge and understanding. We're going to give you clarity and comprehension. We're just laying out our model of how we're going to work with you, Muslims. Okay. We're not going to hate you. We're going to love you. And we just fully understand that you lack knowledge. That's all. Okay. That's the only problem with Muslims. There's nothing else that's wrong with you guys. You just lack knowledge. Okay. Oh, sorry, lack understanding. And we're here to give you that transformation of just simply teaching you your religion. Okay. But unfortunately, yeah, in teaching you, we've realized that because some of you lack understanding, you guys developed a lot of dogmas and doctrines, which meant there's a lot of misunderstanding and misinformation that has polluted your minds. Okay. You won't find that in the actual teachings of Muhammad, i.e., the Quran. The things that you have inside of your minds, which are the dogmas and doctrines, it's not going to be inside of the Quran. It's completely in your own mind, based upon your scholars and whatever literature that you've been reading. It's all there. It's not actually inside of the Quran itself, right? So we're gonna have to get that clear to you. Like, and I'm saying that's clear to the people who are going to be apologists. Just understand that they have certain beliefs that's not founded inside of the Quran, but it's founded upon the fact that their predecessors did not understand and they created dogmas and doctrines that they're now following. Okay. So once you understand that, right, you take them back to the point that you're trying to prove, right? Is that Muhammad brought Christianity and our teachings. And we're going to do it in a simple way. We're going to go to what I consider to be the usul, the foundation of their faith, right? Because a lot of a lot of Christians today, they start talking about, oh, Aisha this and oh, Zayd that, or like pure irrelevancies, like everything that Christians bring up to me is just irrelevant. That's not how you're going to just you're just now choosing arguments. Just like, what else can I argue about today? Oh, you know, let's talk about the wives. Let's talk about Muhammad's shoe size. Like, it's just nonsense. Like, allow it. Like, allow it. Just get to the foundation of everything. You really want to convert Muslims, get to their foundation. What do they believe? Their belief can listen, Muslims, if I am wrong, tell me I'm wrong. Does your belief system hinge upon number one, your shahada, la ilaha illallah wa Muhammadan Rasulullah. Your shahadatain, should I say, really and truly. Yeah, it hinges upon that, and the way it hinges upon that, the epistemology that you got to that understanding is via the Quran and the Hadith, right? Am I wrong or am I right? If you're part of Sunnah, what's it called? Sunnah or Jama'ah. Yeah, if you're part of that, if you're part of Sunni Islam, that is where your religion hangs upon. Tell me if I'm wrong. Let me know now, Muslims inside of the comment section. Okay. We could go a little bit further and say it's the Amal, it's the people and what they brought. And yeah, we can go a bit deeper, but it's simple. If I'm going to teach Christians, let's just teach them the simplicity of it. Okay. Okay, let's go. So the clarification. You're teaching me my Islam is like Christians learn Christ from to understand you. So interesting. Interesting. See, this is like people like you, as I said, the ignorant Muslims. I just leave to the wayside because I don't have time. I don't have time. Okay. I really don't have time for people like you. No religion higher than truth. Preach. Okay. Uh, I'm telling you that you're so wrong. And cool. Again, the link has been shared. Anytime you want to come on in. You say I'm the way and truth and the life. So, okay, you said here, I'm telling you you're wrong and you refuse to engage with me. So I'm going to ask you the question. Yeah. Does the foundation of your faith, yeah, yes or no, simple, does it hinge upon your shahada? I want to become a Muslim today. All I have to do is recite that shahada, right? And that source of knowledge for that shahada, it comes from the Quran and the Hadith. Yes or no? I'm teaching your religion now. Tell me, is the antichrist or the anti-Islam person, is he right for saying that? Let me know. Muslims inside of the comment section, let me know. I would love to know. Or you may be so jahil that you don't even know the answer to this question. Let me know. Which one is it? Would you feel ashamed to agree with me? To say yes. Mm. Okay. The gap analysis between what Muhammad knew and what he said. Yes, he was a leader of a form of a Christian sect. The first problem you have, who wrote the Quran? Mhm. Indeed. Indeed. Cool. So, yeah. Okay. I think I will add it here actually. So I could add it as a text here. Do, 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 do. Okay. So I'll add a text box. Yeah, I would say uh, three things. Okay, I want to make life easy for my Christian audience to engage. Six. Uh, 1 second. Forgot to completely read this message. Uh, okay, cool. Sometimes I wonder what life's about. Sometimes I wonder what I like to shout. Okay, cool. So, what do I want to go to? So, if I always want to go to the foundation, the origins, the history of something, where do I find this? I would like to go to what's his name? What's that coin of his? So, Zubarid. Okay, let me do this. Zubarid. 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 Zubarid dynasty. Do that because most people don't know. I'm saying Zubarid, they don't know it's a dynasty. Zubarid dynasty, curriculum. Oh, correct. That I am referring to uh, MHMD, RSL. Cool. This is what I'm referring to the first time outside of the Quran in terms of dated material do we find this particular charisma, the charisma of Muhammad being the Rasulullah. Cool. So that's the foundation. Let's get to that. And the second foundation would be the Quran. So I would go into the first chapter of the Quran. Okay, so let's go in Surah Fatiha. 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 Cool. Fatiha. Okay, Surah Fatiha. And then the third one would be hmm, so in my teaching, what is that called? What is that called? What is that called? I think it's the Ikra hadith. Ikra, Ikra and Ufuk. Ikra and Ufuk hadith. I think that's what it's called. Um, yeah, let's do that. Ikra hadith. Cool. That is it. That is it. In terms of what you need to know as a Christian, I'm teaching Christians. I want to teach them the foundation of Muslim faith, and I'm teaching it to them from a historical background. Okay. So, in terms of the first time you get introduced to, because I don't really care about the first bit of the Shahada, because I think every Muslim, Jew, Christian, they'll all say, no one has a problem with saying La ilaha illallah. Like nobody has a problem saying that there is no God but one God or the God or Allah. They might have a problem saying Allah, possibly, but that's just ignorant Christians that have a problem with calling God Allah. I understand it because obviously the conceptualization that is attached to it or the connotation that's attached to it nowadays because Muslims have co-opted the word Allah and made it their own. So I can understand that. But apart from that, everybody knows, like, they all believe in one God, supposed to be the same God. I'm not saying that it is, because in conception, in name wise, it is. But in terms of conceptualization, all three of them have a different conceptualization of who God is. So technically speaking, it's not the same God because it's different conceptualization, but in principle, it's meant to be the same God. So I don't even want to touch that because it's pointless. The point of disagreements would be from a Christian side point is saying that Muhammad is the Rasulullah. Okay, so if that is the contention amongst Christians, and I'm trying to say to you, don't have a contention with it. If your earlier counterparts of apologists didn't have a contention with that per se, because they accepted that Muhammad was a Christian and he brought Christianity. So if he brought it, he was given it, he was sent with it. So therefore, accept him as an apostle. And then if you accept him as an apostle, yeah, we're going to have to talk about this individual who was the apostle, which was Muhammad. then you're going to have to find the historical Muhammad that we can agree on. And that historical Muhammad, of course, was a Christian. So at that point, we can do a whole teaching around who this Muhammad Rasulullah is. Perfect. Boom. You could knock that out of the park. That's easy. Now, with the Surah Fatiha, okay, what would be the point here? Surah Fatiha, which technically isn't the first chapter in the Quran, technically it's not the first chapter of the Quran. Technically. Okay. But most Muslims don't know that. So you're going to have to teach them that so they can be like, all right, cool. And obviously, when you get deeper down, you can teach them that it's not really part of the Quran, but it's added extra to the Quran to be part of the Quran. So that's something that you can have like at a later date because you don't want to just make their mind go, kulu, kulu. All right, cool. So you don't want to do that. So what would you want to do from that? You would want to teach them from Surah Al-Fatiha that it's a Christian prayer. Let's do that. Let's just say it's a Christian prayer. Christian prayer. Why mess around with it? Cool. Cool. And then the Iqra hadith. Iqra hadith. Where would you go with that? You would want to just show what they're missing. Right? Because it's all there. All the data points are there. It is the authoritative witness, the Christian authoritative witness and confirmation. Okay. The Christian authoritative. Authoritative. Oh my God. Is authoritative not a word? Authoritative. It's not a word. Okay. Making up words. Oh no, it is. Authoritative. Authoritative. Oh, authoritative. Okay. Authoritative. Okay, cool. Learn that word in the future. Christian authoritative witness and confirmation. Cool. That's it. So, yeah, those are the three things to start off with that you need to just learn as a Christian and teach Muslims. Easy peasy. Okay, let me just read some of these comments before I get back to it. It's been an hour, hasn't it? Yeah. So technically speaking, I should not be continuing live. Okay. Let's see. What have I missed? The gap between Muhammad and you. Okay, cool. There is a hadith where Muhammad says, "Seek ye knowledge, even unto China. Muslims have a lot to learn." Which person who wrote the hadith ever saw Muhammad personally? The answer is none of them. Person, the place, and the time, none of them. I've been to Mecca and Medina. Sick. Huh? Yeah, some of my family members literally just came back from Umrah. So that's nice, man. Cool. My sources is Muslims, Quran and Sunnah, and you're not in any position teaching me my Islam. Stop reading Islamic perspective like you did with Tanakh. Cool. Yeah. There are Ethiopian writings of Christians envoys in Arabian Peninsula. Hamid of the Quran is that. See, could be. You need to learn the chronological order of surahs. You're so ignorant. Brosif, like Brosif. Let's demonstrate. I like this. I love this right here. I love this. This is a brilliant teaching point. Cool. You're telling me that I need to learn the chronological order of surahs. Okay. So now, again, look, the link has been sent to you. You're just there chatty patty in the comment section. The link has been sent to you. All right. Let's test your knowledge. And this is perfect, this is so perfect just to show you the confusion inside of Islamic traditions and Muslim minds, okay? Because Muslims' minds are confused, unfortunately, not all, but unfortunately, because just they lack they lack knowledge. Question to you, because you're now inferring that I lack chronological order of the surah. So tell me, which is the first surah of the Quran? Which is the first surah of the Quran? I want you to display your ignorance for everybody to see right now. And let's see if you even respond. It's a question to you. We're going to hold up time right now and ask you, what is the first, chronological chapter, surah of the Quran? Let me know. Okay. Whilst we wait for that, sorry, that would be a problem because if Muslims, if Muhammad said he got the Quran from an angel, but the angel never identified himself as one, our brother Aladdin is in here. Titans, Akani is in here as well. More than one character referred to as Muhammad, religious and political and spiritual. Okay, cool. So let's see. Let's see what the good brother Aladdin has to say right now. Akani, you're here as well. But let's give Aladdin his time. Aladdin, talk to me.
Good evening, everybody. I just joined you to answer your question to show you how ignorant I am. I will not write it down. I'll answer you directly.
Perfect.
You ask me, Surah Al-Alaq is chapter. If you go to the chronological order of the surah, let me start with the Makkiyah. Surah Al-Alaq is number 1, which is 96. Surah Al-Qalam number 2, which is 68. Surah Al-Muzammil number 3, which is 73. Surah Al-Mudaththir. I memorize them all in my head.
That's
So
fine.
No. So please, so you are not playing with a kid here to tell me that. Come and what you are doing here, with all the respect to you, you are reading Islam in a Christian context and perspective to suit your needs as a Christian. You are talking about history. You base all your knowledge on history. I asked you a couple of simple questions about historical evidence aside from your gospel in the Bible, and you totally ignore that because there is no historical or scientific evidence to support the claim that I got from the Bible. So please, if you want to read the Holy Quran, just read it in an Islamic perspective, in correct perspective. Don't impose your opinion on us, claiming that 2 billion.
I really don't even have the time and patience for all your monologuing, right? So I've muted your mic. If you don't know right now, I've muted your mic. So the question is, and he's left. Okay. So anyways, the question was, what was the first chapter inside of the Quran? Unfortunately, brother doesn't have any patience. He just wants to monologue and show that he knows, the first one is Surah Al-Alaq 96, then it's 68, and then it's this, and that. Shut up. Nobody cares, right? We've asked you a simple, direct question of what is the first one chronologically? Okay. That was asked of you. What is the first one? We don't want to hear the monologue into everything else. Yes, I muted you because you don't know how to be quiet. Simple. Like this is what I don't understand. Like a lot of people think that, they run, they now have something. They now run the show. When somebody's doing something, someone's put on a platform for you guys to speak. You don't understand the rules of engagement. If you want to speak, then have a dialogue. One question is asked of you. What is the first chapter of the Quran chronologically? Not everything else that you have to offer. Okay? So when you're ready, come back in. Yeah? When you're ready, come back in, and then we can further have a conversation with you. Okay? Man like Titan Akani. Talk to me, King. What are you telling me?
Yes, peoples. Can you hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Big up the Titans, man. Listen, man, people gotta cool down, man. If you're confident in your thing, you should have a bit of patience, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what's the topic, man?
So technically there isn't a topic like that. The topic, as I said before, is we're doing apologetics. So
Yeah.
if I was a Christian and I wanted to teach Christians how to, is it like an experiment right now? I want to teach Christians how to. Okay, yeah. If I want to teach Christians how to engage with Muslims in dialogue, and you want to convert them to your way of thinking, How do we do that? How do we do that? Okay. What methodology are we going to use? Right?
Oh my God.
Get you back in. I don't know if you heard
So
any of
yeah,
that.
I'm back. Go ahead.
Did you hear that?
Just
What I said? Do. When you're ready, you can. And Aladdin, when you're ready to come back in, come back in. But respect the platform and respect the terms of engagement. We're not here to hear your nonsense. Okay. Sugar. Let's get you back in. Give me a second. There you go. You there? Yo. Unmute your mic. Okay. So, anyways, back to it. Because I don't really have that time. Again, for those of you guys who are just coming in right now, I am trying to get off though, because I've been here for longer than an hour. What we're trying to do is, how would we engage with Muslims? If I was to teach Christians how to engage, if I was to teach Christians how to engage with Muslims in dialogue or to do apologetic works, how would I do it? And I've said we've created a methodology of doing that. The methodology is to go back to the ancients, antiquities, go back to the giants of antiquity who were apologists. Go back there. Okay. And please, like, it's cool. It's cool. Actually, you know what? You know what Jesus says? Like, my flock, my sheep, they know me. They follow me. Right? My flock and my sheep is technically not the layman. It's technically not the ignorant man. So this stuff will go over the heads of the layman. But for those people who have a thirst of knowledge and education, this is what we yearn for. Yeah? We yearn for like real information. Kenny, are you there? Can you speak? Then let's go here. So over here, we've gone back over to the philosophers and theologians who interacted with Muslims in the early days, in the 9th century, 10th century, 11th century. What were the debates and dialogues that they were having? What were the Muslim understandings or misunderstandings that they were having? Okay. And from that, we've learned a thing or two. We've learned an approach to take. The approach is that we as Christians who say that, you know what, yeah, cool. I'm gonna tell you something. Muhammad brought Christianity and our teachings, but his companions did not understand him. Okay, that is our approach. Okay, we're gonna be on the level standing as Muslims and say, yeah, we don't mind. We can roll with your Muhammad, right? But he taught Christianity, therefore he was a Christian. And it's just that you just didn't understand him. So let me teach you about him, because clearly you lack knowledge. You don't know the context of the things that's written inside of your Quran and inside of your Hadith literature. Okay? You don't know the context. The data is present, but the point is completely lost, or the subject is poorly explained to you. So let us explain it to you. Let's make it simple and coherent for you to understand. You're struggling with complex ideas or instructions, such as the Trinity, complex to you. So let's break it down in a very simple manner that you are able to comprehend. Okay? It's that simple. And with that, fortunately enough, let's get past the dogma stuff. Fortunately enough, all we have to teach you is Muhammad, Christianity, and the teachings. And the way we do that is to get to your foundation. We don't need to go anywhere else that we see Christians doing today. Okay? Don't need to do all of that. All we simply have to do, is teach you your foundation, your Shahada, the Quran, and the Hadith. And we don't even need to be long-winded. All we have to do is choose one chapter of the Quran, which is the first chapter in their written Quran, right? You can now go into the chronological Quran. with the chronological Quran, you have problems. And what do I mean by that? Muslims in their traditions say that chapter 96 is the first. Then you go elsewhere inside of Muslim traditions and they'll say, no, it's chapter 74, which is the first. Okay. Or they'll go somewhere else and say, no, chapter 72 is the first. So Muslims within inside of the Hadith literature, there is confusion. They themselves don't know which is the first. Then we can take the academic route. And the academia talks about, they split the Quran into two major sections. Let me do that first. They split it into Meccan surahs and then split into Medinan surahs. There is early Meccan surahs and late Meccan surahs. Then there's early Medinan surahs and late Medinan surahs. So it's like 4, but it's like 2 major sections, and then the other 4 is just subdivided into that. Okay? And then you'll get an understanding that okay, maybe 96, 74, and 72 is not even the first. Okay, then may not even be the first one, based upon how can I put it, the stylistic writings of the Quran, etc., etc. Academics today have kind of figured out which is the first layer of the Quran, which is the second layer, etc., etc., etc. Right? So let me quickly get a Canny back into the mix. 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, you're muted. Okay, cool. Bruno Townsend.
Yeah, I can hear you, man. My phone's playing up, man. Flipping out.
Cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Let me quickly address
Yeah,
this.
we good. My phone's just playing up right.
All right, no problem. All right, it says here, ancient maps show no town or city called Mecca underneath. All ancient mosques point to Medina and Mecca, the place. Okay, I didn't know about the the mosque point to Medina. That's interesting. But yeah, there is.
So go on, Kalam, chat to me, man.
There was no Mecca back then. Go ahead. What are you saying?
So yeah, so basically, you're arming up the Christians how to dialogue with the Muslims, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So you see when you were saying, yeah. So no, not even. Let me not even ask that. So you see your whole argument, your angle. Are you saying that the Quran, first of all, is the Quran a book or gospel?
Sorry. Read again.
Is it a book of gospel?
A book of gospel? No, it's not a book of gospel.
It's not a gospel book.
No.
Okay. But it's a Christian source.
It's a Christian text, yeah. The Christian created.
So there's gospel in it.
You mean gospel?
So there's gospel teachings within it.
Is there gospel teachings with it? There's Christian teachings within it. Yes.
Okay. So you see the calling of the Quran regarding the 3 Abrahamic religions. Who's the calling mainly like? You know when Allah calls, oh you who this or oh you who that. Is the Christians being called?
Okay. You'll have to go to very specific places where sometimes it's Christians that's been spoken of, sometimes it's the faithful that's been spoken about, sometimes it's the Jews that have been spoken about, or sometimes it is a general speaking of mankind or man or whatever.
Yeah, I'm aware of this, but you see the amount of time. So let's say, oh, you who believe, I'll say this is probably said at least, I'm estimating from my head, at least over 50 times. So when it says, oh, you, it don't really call the Christians, if I'm wrong. I think it says the people of the gospel. So with the calling, who's it calling to? Because who's it teaching? Because when it says, oh, you who believe, it's talking to a certain audience. We don't know who this audience is.
So it's talking to the faithful. So it would be talking to the companions or the, how can I put it, the people who accepted Muhammad He'll be speaking to them as the faithful,
Yeah.
and he'll be speaking to the rest of the
So who are they?
people who are
What's their
in
religion?
line. It's Christianity.
But the calling don't call, like the Quran calls the Christians, but it don't call the believers Christians. It even separates them at certain points. Like there's the Nasara. So
So yeah.
why is it
So
not calling them Yahweh Nasara? You know?
okay. So there is a difference. There is a point of how can I put it? How do we differentiate ourselves from the other groups? Okay. So
But
we
Jews are not
what
Christians.
can you listen to me? So
But
we who are the faithful, we who will follow the let's say the true teachings of Christianity, we are our designation is the faithful, the Hemanat. Okay. Now we acknowledge that there are other people who we do not think are can I put it orthodox. They are heterodox. Okay. Those people who we consider to be heterodox, we refer to them as Christians. Okay. Because that's what they are. Even today, amongst, how can I put it, amongst the Orthodox, you can find them, the East Orthodox, the Oriental Orthodox, they refer to themselves as the faithful or Orthodox, right? Then they refer to everybody else, let's say Catholics or the Protestant movements, they refer to them as Christians, okay? They're Christians. It doesn't mean that we're not Christians, but that's just not our term that we refer to as the insider group. The insider group refers to themselves as Orthodox, or they refer to themselves as the faithful.
but the Jews and Sabians, they're not Christians as well. So they're in the same group as the separation. So you've got the believers, you've got the Jews, you've got the Christians, and you've got the Sabians. Sabians and Jews are not Christians. So how is that going to make sense?
Just said it, right? You got the faithful, which is one group.
Yeah, who's that faithful? Because
I just explained it, I literally just explained it. I'm not going to just repeat myself again.
yeah, but that's based on your opinion, fair to say, because it's like within I forgot what verse it is in the Quran, but when it's putting all the groups out, these are all different. They're all same in common in Abrahamic faith, but they all follow different schools of thoughts. It's not in the context of how you're saying Orthodox, Catholic. This is not in that context, because you have a whole genre of different, same group in Abrahamic faith, but different. You know what I mean? Hold on a second. Hold on.
Okay. Anyways, let me get this up. Okay, it says here the person Muhammad was a Christian. How did he get Jesus' name wrong? He didn't. He got Jesus' name exactly right. Okay, exactly right. And this is the problem. And this is the problem I'm having like a lot, because I'm teaching you guys the Abyssinian origin. And the problem is, I've showed this already on the channel. I might have to show it again. But it's jarring for me to keep on showing this when I've done this so many times, right? That scholars already know that the name Jesus is found in the no. Let me backtrack. Let me go a little bit further back, right? Because some people are completely ignorant, and I hate it. I call it racism. Literally, it's racism. Nobody understands racism like this, man. It is completely. Anyways, let me even go there. I don't even want to go on a tangent. Just to even just really explain this. Mute your mic for now.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
cool. Mute your mic. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So now, the racism is so strong that it's just, to me, it's just maddening. Okay, and I'm going to call it out, and I'm going to say straight away, academia is practicing a form of racism. Religious apologists, particularly Christians, are practicing a form of racism. Okay. And this form of racism is what I call, how can I put it? I've got it written down here actually. I call it willful ignorance. Willful ignorance. I was looking at God Logic channel yesterday actually, and he was asking the question, what is the Injil? Okay, what is the Injil? And of course, it's directed towards Muslims. But as a Christian, I'm talking about Christian apologetics. I'm not just talking about God Logic. I'm talking about as Christian apologetics. Full stop. Right? A book is talking about your book and your people, and you are a person in the 21st century engaging with these individuals, but you haven't took the time out to actually research these terms that's being used. It's like, it's baffling to me. It's like, why don't you? And I think you have done, but then somehow you come to a wrong conclusion, or you go elsewhere and you completely ignore the Abyssinian and Ethiopian connection to it all. And that's why I say it's just racism, because it's all there, but you ignore it. Full stop. Let me land now. Inside of the Quran, it talks about the people of the Injil, or it calls the Injil, which is the New Testament, the good news, the Evangelion in Greek, right? That is what it's referring to. The question is, where did the Quran get the word Injil from? They got the word Injil from the Ethiopic word, or the Ge'ez word, Wangel. Okay, Wangel. Okay? That is where they got it from. Scholars, I'm going to quote one right now. Arthur Jeffrey, right? Big boy scholar, talking about the foreign vocabulary inside of the Quran. We'll break that down to you and show you that's where the word Injil comes from. Sorry, Injil comes from. Yeah, Injil comes from there. Cool. You have other people like Irfan Shahid. We'll break that down to you and show you that's where it comes from. Right? So scholars know this information already. Unfortunately, mainstream is like, somehow there's like nobody knows that the word Injil actually comes from Ethiopia. Why is the Quran picking up an Ethiopian word? It's because Ethiopians were present and they brought their gospels with them. So if they brought their gospels with them and they were teaching about Jesus, right? What would be inside of the book? How do they refer to Jesus? They called him inside of their book Jesus. Okay, Isaus or Isus. Yeah, let me just say Isus. I have to go back in there and really just find you the pronunciation, right, of it. Cool. Scholars have done the research. They say nope. The word Isa inside of the Quran does not come from, let's say, Greek. Nope, it doesn't come directly from Greek. It doesn't come directly from Syriac neither. You got East Syriac that uses the term Isho. You got West Syriac that uses the term Yeshua. But clearly, we know it's not coming from any of those sources. It's not coming from the Hebrew. It's not coming from the Aramaic. So where is it coming from? Scholars. I think the only person I've seen really giving the breakdown for this is Irfan Shahid yet again. And he breaks that down and shows you that literally, if you look at the Ethiopic Ge'ez word for Jesus, yeah, it's literally coming from that. That is where it comes from. The only thing they did was drop off the S from the word Isa, from how you say it, and that's it. Because obviously the S wouldn't sound good inside of the Arabic, so they just dropped it off. Cool. So we know that the teachings of the gospel and the teachings of Jesus is found within inside of the Ethiopic Bible. That's where the Quran is getting all this information from. Another big boy person within inside of the whole of the New Testament or the gospel is the devil, Satan. Where does where does the Quran pick up the word Satan or Satan al-Regime? It's coming from Ethiopic Bible yet again. We can find it literally. You can go to Genesis, this. They call him Shaitan el-Regime or Satan the accursed, sorry. Whatever the case is, like, we know where it comes from. So if we know all this information, like what the names of the apostles inside of the Quran, the Huariya, where is that term found? You can't find that anywhere else inside of anywhere else. It's only found inside of the Ethiopic, right? This is why it baffles me so much that people are so ignorant. Yeah, that's what I mean. They're ignorant of the Quran because they're racist, and it's not their fault they're being racist. It's not their fault. Yeah, you just grown up in a society that practices racism, and you don't even know that they're practicing racism. So the only thing that you know, because they completely silence the Ethiopian connection, completely silence it, saying, "Oh, don't worry about that," completely silence it. Yet the Muslims spent 20 years in Ethiopia. 20 years. Can you imagine? According to the narrative, they spent 20 years in Ethiopia when Muhammad just got his revelation. But nobody's teaching you anything about Ethiopia. Nobody's teaching you anything about the Ethiopian words inside of the Quran, the Ethiopian concepts inside of the Quran. Nobody's teaching you that. Racism is still alive. They're just concealing it. And some people are so ignorant and blind that they can't even see the racism. And then when I come and tell you there's racism, you're looking at me like I'm crazy. When I'm coming and telling you that it was actually Ethiopians, Africans that were ruling in Arabia in the 6th century and were the Muhammad of the Quran, you must now think I'm a black supremacist because I'm just teaching the facts. It's so crazy how people mind jump crazy places when you're just telling the facts and you could back it up line for line. Anyways, so again, let me just, I'm sidetracking because I'm even thinking about other stuff that I've written down that's just got to be sidetracked. So again, Muhammad did not get the name of Jesus wrong. The name of Jesus is coming from the Ethiopic word for Jesus. Okay, it's just that nowadays Muslims don't know, Christians don't know, and now they're just telling you some nonsense. Okay, Muhammad was an agnostic, which mixed teachings with Hinduism and paganism. Nope, he never. Savior and John the Baptist Christian. Nope. So, what is Jesus' name? I did land. That's good. And but I asked you about Jesus. Yeah, cool. And it's answered. Okay, then the Ethiopian Bible is wrong because they got Jesus' name wrong. What? I don't understand that. The Ethiopian Bible, this is what I mean, like cognitive dissonance, right? The Ethiopian Bible has to be wrong because why? Because the name of Jesus is wrong. I don't understand. Like, why must the Bible Ethiopian, but like now the Africans must be wrong? It's mad. It's mad. To me, it's mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's mad to me. But anyways, Titan Zakani, talk to me. What are you telling me?
Yeah, man. No, don't get it twisted. People need to understand, as much as pressure I apply on Kalam, I like the black, the pushing the blackness, you know, needs to get pushed, man. You know what I'm saying? That one. Because people got some subconscious racism in their heads still. It is there. It's there still. Like even if you say Muhammad was a bishop or pope, like him being black is like, they don't like that bit. African, nah, they're not trying to hear that. So they'll hear you out, but because it's black and Ethiopian, it's like, you know what? Forget that. You know what I'm saying? I laugh at that kind of moments for me. So them moments is kind of gold still.
Mad, bro. I was on, Skep Islamica. Skep Islamica. I dropped a little comment in there. And I just looked at the comment section going crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I'm like, what in the Uncle Tom foolery is going on here? And these were black people. Do you imagine?
Yeah. They're not trying to hear it because they know it goes into other avenues and there'll be differences of views, and you know what I mean. They just need to be tooled up. That's my best opinion.
I was shocked because I was like, oh, this must be an Asian person that's saying, oh, we was Kangs. I thought it was just like, that's what I thought. I looked in it and I was like, oh, right, this is actually a black African person doing this, right?
Yeah.
This is crazy, right?
Yeah.
I simply made the statement that why are we not looking at the Ethiopians that ruled Arabia in the 6th century prior to Islam?
Yeah.
No, they never. Ethiopians never ruled Islam. No, no, sorry, not Islam. It's ruled Arabia. Bro, they were going ham. Yeah, they were going ham. They were saying, it's your insecurities. Why are you blackifying things? We was can't, bro. They were going.
You know where it is, Kalam? Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say nothing. I'm not. You know me. I drop like textbooks, and I'm not gonna say nothing because I need you like to stay in your ignorance, and I need to just let everybody see your ignorance. And I think somebody else. I don't know, he came in and he's like, he speaks with scholars and stuff. It's like, no, what are you talking about? The Ethiopians ruled, blah, 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 blah. He dropped the science. He dropped it. I said, yeah, good. I need somebody else to drop it because for some reason, you're going to see my channel. You're going to click on my channel. You're going to see that I'm black. So therefore, we're not going to listen to the black guy.
Yeah.
Somebody else to say
it. No, it's crazy, man. It's wild, man. And it's a shame because you know what it is, in all reality, people are just projecting that that fear from the East African Muslim slave trade. That's where it's really like I don't think people really ain't got an issue with a black Muhammad. It's just what happened in Zanzibar and and Arabia and black people in general. You know what I'm saying? What happened to this in the Islamic slave trade? So the sub-Saharan slave trade, shall I say. So that was, I think that's where people's really onto, and black slaves and all these things. But I think they really don't mind a black Muhammad or whatever, but they don't want to agree to it because it breaks down other views, and you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah, it causes too much fitna, akhi.
yeah, it
Too much
causes too much
fitna.
confusion for them. They're not ready. But you know what it
Yeah.
is? It just shows that people actually don't read and they just watch YouTube. Like there's a difference from listening to someone from YouTube that you're reading along with, like say there's a book and he's reading a certain different book, but it aligns, then cool, like you're in tune, you know what I'm saying? But if you're not having no form of like items around you and you're just depending on YouTube and listening to people, you're gonna end up being like them Christian apologists, like lack of knowledge, saying ignorant things, like and a Muslim, ignorant Muslim, don't know what he's saying, just talking. No, it's just for me. I see what's going on. You get what I'm saying? I see what's going on. But back to the convo, Kalam, man. Back to the convo, man. So cool. The believers. Surah 2:208. Yeah?
Mhm.
Let's read along. Hold on. Let me get the book.
After you do this, yeah, I'm gonna keep it moving though.
Yeah, no problem. This is the bit I really wanted to talk to you about. So it says, "O you who believe, enter perfectly into Islam and follow not the footsteps of the shaitan." So cool. It says, "O you who believe, enter perfectly into Islam." So to my understanding, Islam was a new religion that was coming in to Arabia.
So let me say this to you, right?
Go on.
Do not, how can I put it? Do not, unfortunately, what you're doing right now.
No, you don't know what I'm gonna do. Be careful.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Go on.
Do not project the word. Okay, so you have Islam there, right?
Yeah.
Don't project Islam as being the religion of Islam versus what the word actually means.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Cool.
word there means submission.
Okay.
Because later on it was used to now designate the followers of Muhammad as saying Islam and Muslims. It doesn't mean that inside of the Quran the term Islam literally means the religion of Islam. Okay,
So how long late are you talking that they understood it to be the followers? How long late are you talking?
I think it's in 690 or something we first get the mention of the people of Islam or the
Okay,
people
cool.
of submission, and doesn't necessarily even mean then that the term literally means the religion of Islam.
Well,
versus
within the inscription that I think you're mentioning, it talks about them mourning the death of Muhammad.
correct.
Yeah, so the people of Islam mourning the death of Muhammad, and we've got a Quran from a Muhammad, and then we've got a verse saying, "Oh, you who believe, enter into Islam." So now we're not gonna dwell on what that meant, enter into Islam. What we do know is that there's a people group called Ahl Islam that mourned over the death of Muhammad. So we got a people group called the people of Islam. So now what I want to ask you is, what was cool? We've got Christian elements, we know this, but are you really like certain that this was like like the Trinitarians? Like, are you saying this was a Christian group? Like, you know what I mean? Like the Orthodox, like you know what I'm saying? The people of Islam, the house of Islam.
Yeah, they're Christians.
They're Christians.
I would say, okay, let me say this to you, right?
Go on.
It depends on what time frame you're discussing.
Yeah, go on.
How their understanding and faith changed.
From the period of the Quran when it was revealed to that 690, we're not going beyond. We just stay in that period. What would? Yeah, so cool.
So let me show that to you, right?
Go on.
When, because now you have to. It's now dealing with the realms of belief. Yeah. So when do you believe the Quran was revealed?
I hear you on that, but we have to go into when that surah was revealed and that chapter. That's more logical if we're gonna be delving into such realm of topics. You know what I mean?
Okay. When do you think that was revealed?
So this is Surah Bakra. This is a Medinan surah. So this is the time when the Prophet Muhammad was establishing himself. So him becoming a lawgiver, a leader, you know what I'm saying? So it's in actually a good timing, not even the timing when he's calling people to belief systems and, you know,
So let me,
faith. He's calling people to law.
all
So,
right, let me
you
stop
know,
you. Let me stop you. Let me stop you.
go,
And I'm gonna, because I want to flow nicely.
go,
Simple question. When
go.
do you think, when we're talking about chronology, time frame,
Yeah.
when do you think this was revealed?
This was a Medinan surah, so I'm freestyling
Time.
at the top of my head. Forgive me. I'll say past. I'll say circa. So circa 615 and above.
Okay, cool. Now, me, I'm saying to you that this Quran
Yeah.
could have been revealed much earlier than 615. It could be have revealed.
No, you're saying no. We're talking about the chapter Surah Baqarah.
Yeah, I'm talking about background. Like this could have been in 560, 570, 580, right? Completely different time frame that we're working with. Because remember, you're working off.
Okay, so if okay, so
Let me
let's
finish.
go. Let's hypothesize right now,
Let me
yeah,
land.
because
Let me
I
land.
know it's not six. I know it's not 580, yeah. So let's just say cool. Let's say 580, yeah, and then we've got the. So now we're shifting. Okay, cool. So now we're in 580 to 690, 100 years, yeah, over 100 years period, yeah. So cool. Go on. I'm with you.
Okay.
Got 100 years period. Do you want to push it 100 years?
So what I'll do right now, yeah,
Mhm.
let me do this. I'll bring it up in a minute. Do I even have? Is it going to be here?
Even 100 years makes it more like logical that it established as a people group. But go on.
Trying to get something. Not easy to find. Why is it not easy to find? This is not good. I ain't got time. I don't have time actually. Okay, cool. Let me move on. Go on. What were you saying? Sorry. Let me go on to what you're saying.
Yeah. So basically, no. So yeah. So six. You kind of juggled me off a bit quickly, but basically the people group.
Yeah.
That's being mentioned. Yeah. Go on.
Let me do this. Let me do this quickly then. Oh, should I stop sharing? Let me stop sharing. Cool. So let's get this back up again. Share screen. Okay, bam, in a manuscript. Boom. Over here. Carbon dating. Let's say determine the correct carbon date of the parchment to be blah 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 blah, which corresponds with 95.4% confidence to the calendar years 568 to 645 when calibrated. Okay, so right when people are talking about the Quran and when this was revealed and so forth, right? We're dealing with
kind of side going out the note. Don't. It's the Surah Baqarah. That verse
yes,
2 away.
whatever the case is, right?
Go on.
We're dealing with history right now. Okay.
Yeah. Go on.
So we can see that we have a span of let me round up the numbers from 568 to 570. So we have a 75-year period, right, where this Quran could have been written.
Yeah.
Are we in agreement?
From 568 to, I don't agree with you because basically the item that was used could have been dated to that time, but not the actual writing, like the inscription,
Cool.
but the material used.
The material used. Cool. I'm with you on that. So can we agree that the material used is dated to that time period and it could have been written anywhere between that time period?
No. I would say the material.
So it could have been written much later on then. So it could have been written in 900 AD then.
The 900 AD. No. Within that times, within whatever matches with the carbon dating and the Islamic narrative. That's how I take it. So the beginning of the Quran was
Okay. So yeah.
And
All right. So there we go. So again, this is why I would. My thing is to get Muslims away from the realms of belief.
no, but it's not belief as well. You got to put credit on our scholars as well. You know what I'm saying? Because you're coming from a different paradigm. You're coming from a Western, I wouldn't say academic because some of your views is wild, but Western
Yes,
academic,
academic. Yes, yes. Because you know why?
critical non-belief in it. So your first approach is not respecting the Islamic scholars anyway. So
No,
for
it
you
is.
to move a Muslim from Islamic scholars is not, it's not making sense, because now you're putting that Muslim in a whole, like you're bringing a lion to a bunch of giraffes, and the giraffes is teaching that little cub. Do you get it?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I hear that. Now, can we do this? Yeah,
Go on.
let's work this out. Western, Eastern, whatever the case is. Yeah,
Yeah,
we are here in the UK, in the West, right?
yeah.
We grew up together in Western academia, right?
Oh,
So that means if we wanted to learn something or know something, we utilize science and we utilize the methodologies that we find in academia, right?
of course, yeah. And there's Muslims academics, so don't
That's
forget that bit.
That's right. That's right. Right. But we're in the West. We deal with that. Okay. The Eastern side, they deal with something else where they have to put the Quran first and whatever the dogmas first. But over here, we don't need to do that.
No,
Okay.
but that's your belief though, Kalam, because over here you've got people that pray 5 times a day. They've blatantly put something before the other, because you've
I hear
got
that.
other Muslims that are circular and they don't even pray at all.
I hear
So
that. I hear that. Let me show you
it's
something.
each to their own at the end of the day, is really what is the
That's cool.
truth.
That's cool. Each their own, yeah. But apart from all of that, me and you,
Yeah.
should have like a equal footing of to say if we wanted to know something, right? Because we've been educated in the same environment together, we
Yeah.
know how it works. If we wanted to
Of
do that,
course.
if we
Of
wanted to
course.
take ourselves away from that, which we can do, right? So now we have to take ourselves away from being British through the education system, and we're now going into an Eastern mind of Islam, whatever the case is, being in this country. Like we can do that, but like, what's the point? And let's just be on an equal footing, right?
So is it safe to say that, but this is for high leveled thinking people, not for like my son? I
Your
can't be
son,
telling my son academics and
you can,
you get it.
because that's what
So
he's going to
what
be.
is the teachings? This, because not everything is for everyone. Some, trust me, not every knowledge is for everyone. You know
Okay,
what I'm saying?
your son, regardless if you want it or not, he's being brought up in the education system of the UK. Okay,
Yeah,
meaning you're gonna have to learn English, maths, science. That's just normal. You're gonna
yeah,
learn about hypothesis and experiments and etc. etc. You're gonna learn the scientific method.
yeah.
Okay, there's no getting away from it. So we don't need to like take our minds out and replace it with an Eastern mind and do
No,
all
but
that.
I'm not saying replace it with an Eastern mind. For example, the teachings of Surah Al-Fatiha. There's nothing wrong with a Muslim learning from their Islamic teachers rather than a Western academic saying it's coming from
That's
Psalms
cool.
or the Christian. Do you get it? Like the
Yeah,
basics.
there's
The
nothing.
basics. The
There's nothing
basics
wrong
is
with
gonna be the basics at the end of the day. You know
There's
what I'm
nothing
saying?
wrong with that, right? You can learn from that side of things, right? But then
God.
now, if we want to prove it, right?
Yeah,
If we want to prove
yeah,
whatever you're claiming, yeah, you're
yeah.
going to have to enter the realms of science.
Thank
Do
you.
you
Yes. Okay.
cool?
Yeah.
All right. So now, yeah, in the realms of science,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, regardless of belief, yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
now your belief is that it was written, let's say, six
No, what
20.
I'm saying is that there's a people group called Ahl Islam, which
In
we would say
690.
Muslims, which we would which they're we would noun it as Muslims. You know what I'm saying? That's who
You
I'm talking about. The Muslims.
okay? So no,
Go on.
I'm sure I'm lost. But anyways, yeah, we're saying right now, yeah, that we know that the Quran, yeah, or the probability of the Quran was probabilistically
No,
recorded.
Callum, you're
during-
shifting the topic. The topic is 2208 about the people group, the believers, not about
Okay,
when the time the Quran was. That's, it's a whole different topic talking.
it's
Stick
it's
with me, you
really
know, you're going
it's
somewhere
really not.
else, bro.
It's
Stick
really
with
not,
me.
because let me show you this, right? You have
Go
to
on.
get into history. Like when we're discussing something, it's history.
No, but we are though. We are.
Okay,
We are. You
then
know what I'm saying?
history depends on two things: time and space. Time, chronology, space, geography. Right?
We
When
can estimate. Doesn't mean it's exact. We can say circa.
there we
So
go.
it's we're estimating. So
There
we
we go.
shouldn't don't dwell on the time. Listen, timeline's important, but the crux of the argument. Let's kind of get into that. The
All right. So what's
people
the crux
group.
of what's the crux of your argument? Let's go
The
there.
people group. So now you're saying the people group was Christians, but I'm telling you that the Quran separates the believers from the Christians
Okay.
with other bunch of groups of people. Not that it's separating them with another group of Christians, it's separating them with another group of people. The only thing that they all have in common is the Abrahamic belief. Other than that, these are all different schools of systems. So I'm asking you, the believers, what system did they follow? You're saying Christians, but the Quran clearly calls Ahl Gospel or Ahl Injil. It separates it. You know what I'm saying? It's not claiming it to be one. Do you get it?
Okay, so as I said to you before, I don't know if you caught it or not, right? When it's talking about the faithful, it's talking about Muhammad's community.
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm with
Talking about
you.
Muhammad's community.
Yeah.
And it names other groups. So the Christians as another group. Let's say the Jews as another group, and the Sabians as another group, right?
Yes. Yes.
Now, as a broad subject of Christianity, does that mean that Muhammad's community, the faithful, were not Christians?
Probably past in their life, but at that present time, there's something new going on. There's something new going on. You have to bear in mind the term believer. This is nothing new, bro. Even Jews use it till today. Christians use it today. You know what I'm saying? So who is this group? You know what I mean? Because they're not Christians. They're being separated.
No, you say they're not Christians, but you haven't
No, the
given
text says they're not Christians. The text don't claim Christianity. It don't. It may have Christian teachings, but it don't claim the title Christian, Nasara, Masiha, whatever. It don't claim none of that. What it claims the closest to Christian is Amanu, believer. But this is not exclusive to the Christian faith. We find this in Judaism, practiced for many, 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 many years before the Christian. So what is this group, this Amanu, that's about? Because they're not labeling themselves Al-Yahud, the Sabians, or Nasara. So who are they? You're saying they're Christians, but the text don't claim that. You're putting your own exegesis or understanding onto the text. You're forcing it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Bear in mind, we have the inscriptions, the people of Islam. So you're going to have to prove and demonstrate that we have a Christian people group called Ahl Islam, which you can't prove. There's no evidence at all. So it's in the realm of belief, like what you're talking about, to say that the Muhammad of the Quran was a Christian.
Um, 2025 is going to be it. It's up here. Oh man, there you go. Oh, so share the screen. I confused me. I need to go. Just to let you guys know, I've been saying I need to go, but I really need to go. And then over here, let's see. Not showing. Why is it not showing? Oh, it is showing. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, I brought this up before, but let me do it again for you. Yeah, the founder of this religious movement and community was, of course, John of Tella. He does a whole backlog, but I'm just going to just get to it so you can see the point. Who established and ordained via his polity by his polity of faithful priests and ascetics, the first independent, non-Chalcedonian ecclesiastical hierarchy, one that eventually blossomed into the Jacobite movement. The story of John's life reaches us from multiple sources. Let me quickly get down to where it is better. The community that John of Tella founded was termed a commonwealth or polity by John's earliest followers. More specifically, they called themselves a polity or of the party of believers. Okay. This polity was, as Garth Fowden had noted, more than just a church, but less than an empire. In the words of one sympathetic chronicler from late antiquity, indeed, it was a polity of distinguished priests and believers, and it was a tranquil brotherhood that was with them. They were harmonious in their love, and they bounded with love of each other. They were beloved and welcomed everyone. Okay? So over here, I'm just simply showing you from Sean Anthony's new work that there was a particular movement, right? That particular Christian movement that was founded by a bishop. And he founded a polity, a community of people. And they consider themselves, or they call themselves, the polity or the party of believers. They were Christians, but they, how can I put it? There's a name for it, the endonymy. Anyways, the name that they choose to call themselves is the believers or the faithful. Whereas the other group, right, were still Christians, but their group, they themselves call themselves the faithful. I'm giving you that to show you that the parallel was taking place with Muhammad. He called his group, his polity that he started, the believers. It's not to say that the Christians...
That's still in the realm of speculation, though, but go on. I'm listening.
Cool. So yeah, the same thing is taking place. The question is now, how do you prove, the real question you should be asking, right, is how do you prove that the Quran is a Christian text? What are the Christian elements within it that makes you know it's a Christian text? That's really where the questioning should really lean to.
But why is no emphasis on its Jewish text or its other eight? Like, why is the emphasis on its Christian text though?
Because it was a Christian text. There were Jewish people that belonged to the ecumenical movement, but it was a Christian text. That's why. Because
Rahman, let
me finish.
You claim. Go on.
Let me finish, right? Because it's not a Jewish text would be anti-Jesus, would be anti-Christianity or anti-Christians.
But the Ebionites are Jews.
If you read the Quran, it is not anti-Christian and it's not anti-Jesus. So therefore, we know
and
that
it's not anti-Jewish.
It is anti-Jewish in certain places.
How? When it calls it, first of all, Kalam.
I could even tell you that.
Wait, Kalam, wait. I want to ask you something. You see, Al-Yahud, the Jews, is there only one terminology the Quran calls them, or is there many other names that they're known as?
Bani Israel.
Thank you. Cool. So now, if it's anti-Jewish, it should be anti-Bani Israel. It should be.
Okay. When I say anti-Jewish, right? Okay.
Yeah.
When I say anti-Christian, okay,
yeah,
it's got polemics against Jews and it's got polemics against Christians. Do you understand that?
Are you understanding it from a religious point of view, not a people group? Because you got to remember, the Jews is a people group. The Christians is a people group as well, but the Jews was actually called Jews. So when you're saying Jews and Christians, to other people, this may be a religious, like, do you get what I mean? Not a people group, because there's actually a people group called Jews. I'm not saying there's no people group called Christians, but even funny enough, as I'm even thinking of it, we have no inscriptions of a people group called the Christians, if I'm not wrong. We have no inscription. So when you're saying polemics with Jews and Christians, is like, are you talking about religious movement? Are you talking about the people group? Because the Jews is a people group, not just a religious movement. You do know that, right?
So now, you're saying that the Jews there's you could be an ethnic Jew and then you could be a religious Jew. Yeah.
I don't get this term religious, bro. I
Religion
don't
means
get it.
that your religion is
Dean,
Judaism. We
Dean,
have,
like a way
for
of life.
example,
People could
yeah.
adopt a way of life.
Let me finish. For example, I have Jewish friends, right? They're ethnically Jewish,
I
but
know this, bro.
very
I
much
know what
so,
you're saying, Callum.
but very much so secular because they don't follow and practice the religion of Judaism.
Hmm.
Okay. So now my statement was there was polemics or anti-Jewish statements inside of the Quran. Is that false or is that true?
Yeah, but that's between a little people group, not a general. It's not a generalization.
Okay.
Definitely not. I understand if you're saying it's a generalization. It's not a generalization. Jesus was a Jew. Philippine, Zachariah. No, he was a Jew, quote unquote. Yeah, he was.
Cool.
They
Cool, cool,
was
cool.
Jews. They was
Yeah,
Zachariah,
we're
Yahya.
going past the point, right? The point was to show you guys, yeah, that yes, the believers, right, were called believers. There were other movements happening in Arabia where other Christians, bishops, were starting their own groups and they were themselves were distinguishing themselves from everybody
But
else.
there's rabbinic movements that call themselves believers as well.
And
So
you'll have to
what?
show it where they show that. Just show it where they say it. And
I don't know from the top of my head, but you got at
cool.
least there's list of groups. There's so many groups.
Mute yourself
The
for a minute.
main one we have today. Let me speak,
Mute
my guy, please,
yourself.
man.
No, I need to finish up. I need to finish
No,
up.
but
So,
you see, he's got many rabbinic groups, and Hasidic is the main one. But you've got other little names, bro. I'm not saying like that group was some main dominant.
cool. Hear you, my bro. But sorry, I ain't got time. Right? I want to wrap up this show real quickly. So, again, we'll have to now like it's down to me. Like it's the onus is on me now. You have to prove that the Quran, really and truly, if anybody wants to get at me, right, is for them to say to me, Kalam, you claim that the Quran is a Christian text. Can you prove it? Right. And now that's like the next level, which we're going to be teaching, which is to show and prove that the Quran is literally a Christian text. Now, how we're going to do that is we're going to understand the creed of Christianity. It's something that we're gonna have to do for like we're gonna have to do shows on this stuff, Actually, no, that's gonna be on Abyssinian origins, but still, on there, we're gonna have to show and prove the Christian creed. Right? You have the 5 pillars of faith within inside of the creed. Then you have the other 7 articles that's in there. Right? So we're gonna have to show, does the Quran show that there is one God? Yes. Does it show that Jesus is Lord? Yes. Does it talk about the Holy Spirit? Yes. Does it talk about the baptism? Yes. Does it talk about there's one holy and apostolic church? Yes. It's all in there. So I've got to show you throughout the scriptures where it's all that it agrees with Christian teachings or agrees with Christianity. Does it talk about resurrection? Yes. Does it talk about the hereafter? Yes. Does it talk about let me think about the other articles within inside of Christianity? Does it teach the incarnation of the word? Yes. Does it teach what else is in there? Does it teach that Jesus died, buried, and was resurrected? Yes. Okay. It's very much so a Christian text. Jewish texts would not admit to any of those things, not any of those things, a lot of those things I've just made mention of. So we know for sure it's not a Jewish text. It's clearly coming from the lineage of Christianity. Okay. But then one has to ask, is it, because early Christians, such as John of Damascus, he argued that this was a Christian heresy. Okay. So now there's a next point, like, is it really Christianity or was it heterodox? Was it heretical Christianity? That's something else that we'll have to get into for another day. Because some people say, no, that's an Arian form of Christianity, so therefore it's heretical, right? That's something for another day. But I will tell you that early Christian apologists viewed what people are calling Islam today, viewed the Quran specifically as a Christian text. They may not agreed, they may have said that it was heretical, but they all agreed that it was a Christian text. So if all the early apologists agreed that it was a Christian text, what do you think they thought Muhammad was? Bloody Christian. Anyways, let me quickly go through all of this. Comments, Black Muslims, Moroccan white, the Arab, Sheikh Danj. Wow. You have Christians. So if Muhammad was said he got his Quran from an angel, who claimed he was God. How? I don't get it. So if Muhammad said what he's corrupt from an angel, that means I really don't. And again, all of that stuff is I'm not even going to go in there because again, we have to get people away from the dogmas and doctrines and misunderstandings that were created later on, i.e., hadith literature that was created, that created all these dogmas and doctrines. Like you're gonna have to remove yourself after a while. You're gonna have to see that a lot of these hadith, if not all of them, a lot of these hadiths are just like fallacious. You have to just throw them away. I love it. I love interfaith dialogue. It is definitely thought provoking and good form of reconciliation. Indeed. Why was Muhammad called a Sabian? Because he appeared to be a Sabian. Yeah, he appeared to be an Ethiopian Christian. That's why. Yeah, Sabian means you're an Ethiopian Christian. Muhammad conquered the first epicenter of Christianity at the time, which was Syria, eastern place, so he would have shown the right name. Muhammad didn't conquer nothing. Arabic Christian, St. Jude Christians. Eminent Amen al variance of Ga'iz, meaning to believe. Indeed. The last prophet in the angel Gabriel list of prophets to Muhammad is Jesus. The last prophet in the angel Gabriel list of prophets is Jesus. Maybe I'm tired. I'm tired and hungry right now. I already know, so I can't understand some of these comments. So forgive me, because I literally need to go and eat. It's 2 hours plus. Yes, now you are on the right track. Look forward to your next show. Peace and love. All right, Jose, I apologize. You could be in the background, but I'm closing down the show because I need to go and eat. Yeah, but thank you all for coming to support. I will finish off this presentation. If there's any pointers and tips that you have, please drop them down below in the comment section. And again, don't forget to hit the like button, baby. Show your love and support. Peace and love. I'll catch you guys on another one. Oh, man.